friends, it's Amy at Doki Doki Forest. Welcome. I'm so glad you are here. Now, today I'm sharing with you what I created for day 3 of hashtag RTC season. This was a super fun mini journal prompt challenge created by Priscilla over at Release the Craftin'. I will have her info down below. Now, she came up with 7 prompts for Season of the Witch, and I just thought it was so cool I had to jump in. And one of the things that she had said was that you do not have to do these prompts in order. You can do them however you want. So far, I've gone in order, so we are on day 3, potion. You could see that I made a potion bottle. The first thing I thought of was Alice in Wonderland. So I was thinking about, she would drink 1 potion to get big, 1 potion to get small, or she would eat something, and there was all this kind of crazy magical stuff happening. So I decided I wanted to have a potion as well. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do beyond the potion, but we'll start here and see where we end up. I am creating all of my prompts on envelopes. So I haven't done this before where I've made a whole book out of envelopes, but it's one of the things that Priscilla was showing and sharing, and so I am following along to try something new. So for each prompt, I'm trying to come up with sort of a little story in a way, because I want to have something on the front of the envelope, something on the back, and then something to tuck in. It doesn't really have to be a story. I suppose it just has to be cohesive. And then again, it doesn't even have to be cohesive, but that's just sort of the way I'm approaching the prompts to help me kind of figure out what I'm doing. So I wanted to have this natural potion bottle. What the heck is a natural potion bottle? That sounds so strange. But what I mean is I wanted to have this little mushroom cork instead of having a regular old cork. There's a mushroom that's popped in the top there, and then there's some twine around the neck of the bottle, and then hanging on the twine we have some little mini mushrooms and some sort of a leaf on there. And of course we have to have the words "drink me" on there to entice whoever finds this bottle. Now, who will find this bottle, and what will happen? Will they grow larger or smaller, or will something even more dastardly happen? And sometimes you'll see me doing these edits where you'll see a cut. So I'll be painting and then there's a cut, and I just want to let you know that that is for drying time a lot of the time when I do that. So that way the colors don't all run together when I'm doing watercolor. And then once it's dry, I can add any kind of ink details that I want to, because sometimes you can do your ink and then when you do watercolor on top, it gets a bit faded. So sometimes I go over a few things with the black. So now I can pop that right on top of this tissue paper that I had glued down. And look who has found this bottle. Why, it's Captain Jean-Luc Picard from Star Trek. Star Trek: The Next Generation, of course. Why the heck am I using that? Well, look at this. I have a large image and a small image of the same exact thing. It's Captain Picard riding a triceratops. I mean, that's pretty epic, right? And I was saving these images, as we do, saving it for something quote unquote special. And the special thing turns out it can be absolutely anything. You can make anything special, and you should just use your stuff, because look at this. I could have kept this in a drawer, or I could have just decided let's just glue it down. Let's make Picard be the one who drinks the potion, and then do you think that he was really small to begin with and he grew larger? Or he was really large and then he drank it and grew smaller? That's sort of up to the viewer to decide. And of course, the first thing I did when I was putting the black paint around this image was I covered his head by accident. So I don't know if you saw that earlier, but I tried to wipe it off as best as I could. And then I'm adding paint and Posca marker to sort of blend it all together. And how does Jean-Luc Picard get back to normal, whatever size he's supposed to be? Well, we have to have another drink, right? There has to be another potion. And on this potion, I wanted to have a Star Trek insignia. It's in like a fancy teacup with flowers. And then there's also this Star Trek insignia sort of surrounded by all this fancy stuff. And what do you think would be in this fancy teacup? You may have some guesses and you may already know, but we shall see. And this, of course, will be the little teacup that will be tucked inside of the envelope. And I'm painting it pretty loosely. I don't mind if I have places here and there where it's still white, like the edges or just even in the middle. Like, I kind of like that look. So I'm not really trying to do anything precise. It's more loose painting. And of course, there is drying time in between painting, like the red on the cup and then the flowers, so that way everything doesn't blend all together. Although it would look really pretty if it blended all together too. And I had the teacup be red because, of course, that is the color of Jean-Luc Picard's uniform. Now, shouldn't I call him Captain? Yeah, but me and Jean-Luc go way back, so it's okay in casual settings for me to just refer to him as Jean-Luc Picard. Adding some gold for extra fancy, because why not? And then I added that white silver color. You couldn't quite see it though, so I put a little hint of black in there, and I'm just hoping it sort of shines silver when it's all done. A little shading. And then, of course, a little swirl in there, some details. Oh, and of course I had to write "Drink Me" on there. Can't forget that, right? And then on the back, I'm just going to paint it similar to the front, same color red, and then a little bit of gold, and then I can write on the back. What is on the back? The magic words, of course. And here it is, my envelope, with the potion on the front, a curious Jean-Luc Picard approaching, like, I don't mind if I do. And then, ta-da, the magic happens. But now he needs to return back to his usual size. So he reaches for this fancy cup and says, "Tea, Earl Grey, hot." Of course, right? Thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you again soon.